Never starting is the biggest reason most people never succeed. But here's the scary part. Most people don't even realize they've failed, because they never officially began. They talk about it. They dream about it. They plan the perfect time. But when it's time to actually move, they freeze. In this video, we're breaking down the real reason most people fail before they even start. It's not laziness. It's not lack of time. It's something deeper, and once you understand it, everything changes. So let me ask you, how many times have you told yourself, I'll start on Monday? I'll wait until I have more time. I need to figure everything out first. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Most people live in a place called almost. They almost started. They almost launched the business. They almost changed their life. But almost doesn't pay off. Almost doesn't build momentum. Almost just leaves you tired, frustrated, and stuck in the same spot year after year. So why do people fail before they even begin? It's because starting is scary. Not hard. Scary. It means leaving the comfort zone. Risking judgment. Facing the chance that maybe you're not good enough. And that's terrifying. But here's the truth. Every dream has a price. And the first part of that price is getting over the fear of starting messy, unprepared, and imperfect. There's a study by psychologist Timothy Pitchell from Carleton University that found procrastination isn't actually about laziness. It's a way of coping with negative emotions like fear, self-doubt, or insecurity. So when you delay starting, you're not being lazy, you're protecting yourself. It's emotional self-defense. You say, I'll start later, not because you're lazy, but because the thought of starting right now makes you uncomfortable. That's normal. That's human. But it's also exactly what keeps most people stuck forever. Think of it like this. You're standing at the edge of a pool. You want to swim. But the water looks cold. You keep dipping your toe in, then pulling back. You wait for the right moment to dive in. But what happens? You just stay on the edge, dry, overthinking, and going nowhere. The solution? You've got to jump in. Not when you're ready, but because you'll never be fully ready. And once you do, you realize the water wasn't even that bad. You just made it worse in your head. Now let's be real, even when you do start, it won't feel magical. There won't be fireworks. You won't feel like a superhero. You'll feel awkward. You'll feel unsure. You might even feel like a fraud. That's part of it. Every successful person started exactly where you are now. Scared, clueless, doubting themselves. But the difference is, they moved anyway. You see, motion creates emotion. Action builds clarity. The more you move, the more confident you become. You don't wait for confidence to start. You build it by starting. Let me tell you a quick story. There's a guy named Noah Kagan. He worked at Facebook in the early days but got fired. Later, he built multiple million-dollar businesses. One of his most popular challenges. He makes people go to Starbucks and ask for a 10% discount, just to get comfortable with rejection and awkwardness. Sounds dumb, right? But it works. Why? Because it forces you to act before you're ready. And that breaks the fear cycle. Now let's talk about perfection. Because this one kills more dreams than failure ever will. We think we need the perfect idea, the perfect logo, the perfect timing. So we wait, and tweak, and wait some more. But perfection is just fear wearing makeup. It's procrastination in disguise. Jeff Bezos didn't wait for Amazon to be perfect. He started by selling books from a garage. Steve Jobs didn't wait to build the perfect iPhone. He launched the first version, then kept improving. Consistency beats perfection every time. There's another reason people fail before they begin. They overthink. They plan too much. They want every step mapped out before they even take the first one. That's like trying to see the entire road before you take your first step. It doesn't work like that. You move, then the path unfolds. Progress looks like confusion at first. And that's okay. One step leads to the next. You don't need to know the entire journey. You just need to trust the next step enough to take it. Let me drop a truth bomb. The first version of anything will suck. Your first video. Meh. Your first business. Sloppy. Your first attempt at anything. Probably not great. But that's the price of entry. You have to suck before you can be good. You have to start weak before you get strong. So many people try to avoid looking stupid. But let me tell you something, looking stupid is part of growth. You're not supposed to look polished in the beginning. That's not failure. That's how you earn your stripes. Now here's where things get really interesting. You think your problem is motivation. That if you could just get hyped enough, you'd start. But motivation is a myth. It's a burst. A sugar rush. It won't carry you. Discipline. That's the real game. But how do you build discipline? By building small wins. Tiny victories. Make your goal so small it's hard to fail. Not write a book, write one sentence. Not go to the gym for an hour, just put your shoes on. Not record a full video, just open the camera app. Because when it's small, your brain says, yeah, I can do that. And once you start, it's easier to keep going. That's called the activation energy principle. The hardest part is starting. Once you're in motion, it gets easier. Here's another trick. Use momentum loops. If you do something today, you're more likely to do it tomorrow. If you skip today, skipping tomorrow becomes easier too. Momentum works both ways. Use it to your advantage. And please, stop comparing your day 1 to someone else's year 10. That's another killer. You look at someone crushing it and think, I'll never get there. But they didn't start there. You're just seeing the highlight reel, not the messy behind the scenes. Everyone starts messy. Here's another reason people fail before they begin. They talk too much about what they want to do instead of just doing it. Talking gives a fake sense of progress. It feels good to say, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. But that doesn't mean anything until you post the first video. That's the only thing that counts. Stop announcing. Start executing. So if you're sitting there right now, scared to start, here's what I want you to hear. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need confidence. You don't need anyone's approval. You just need to move. Take one small step. Do it messy. Do it afraid. Just do it. That one action can change your whole life. Start before you're ready. Start while you're scared. Start while it's ugly. Start even if no one supports you. Because the regret of never starting will haunt you way more than the fear of failing. And let's be honest, what are you really risking? Some embarrassment. A bit of judgment. People will forget. But you'll remember. You'll carry the regret. Or you can carry the pride of knowing, at least you tried. At least you moved. At least you had the courage to begin. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't filled with talent. It's filled with action. The only way to close that gap is to move. Most people stay stuck at the starting line, afraid to look dumb, afraid to be judged, afraid to fail. But the winners, they look fear in the face and move anyway. So the question is, are you going to be one of the people who almost started? Or are you going to start today? Watch the next video on your screen to keep your momentum going.